Yo, it's your boy Smoke Bathroom Man video. In today's video, we are going over 5 NFL players who had a disappointing 2024 NFL season. I just recently did a video talking about every NFL team's most underrated player. If you guys are interested in watching that, make sure to check the link down in the description below to watch that. But that was kind of a positive video. You know, we're talking about people who are underrated who need more value and stuff like that, should be valued more. But now we are going to be talking about people who had a bad season and just overall disappointments. They were expected better, and they just have not delivered. So at number 5, well, actually, before we go ahead and get into number 5, I want to say a few honorable mentions. I want to say, as an honorable mention, Justin Tucker, Patrick Mahomes, and I know it's crazy to say Patrick Mahomes because, yeah, he is on one of the best teams. His team went 16-1. They're in playoffs. But he didn't perform that well. I think we can all be honest there. Even if you're a Chiefs fan or not, Mahomes definitely did not have a great year. Not a top 5 quarterback year for Mahomes this year, at least, obviously. So I just wanted to say those two, but they're not on this list. Now let's get started with the top 5 most disappointing NFL players in the 2024 season. Number 5, we have Will Levis. Will Levis, he was drafted 2 years ago now, and he has not shown much at all for the Tennessee Titans to be anywhere close to being a franchise quarterback. I feel like the Titans are definitely going to have to address the quarterback situation in the offseason, but if they don't, I mean, I guess Will Levis will get a third season to prove his worth, but time is definitely running out for Will Levis. He finished the 2024 season with 13 passing touchdowns, 2,091 passing yards, 12 interceptions, a QBR of a 27.7, and he got benched. He got benched late in the season. I think it was against that Bengals game, and he got benched the last game as well versus the Dolphins, I believe. So yeah, Will Levis was not great at all, like not at all. And the one thing I will say about Will Levis is, yeah, his situation's not great, but I mean, Calvin Ridley was there. That was his first year playing for the Titans. And then Tony Pollard came in as well. So he had a few people. It's not like it was completely trash. And J.C. Latham, who actually wasn't too bad, for his rookie tackle. So, yeah, Will Levis, he didn't have a great supporting cast, but, I mean, you at least got to put up somewhat better numbers with that, even if you have a bad supporting cast or not. Number 4, we have Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, this guy got really famous this year for subbing himself out for being out of breath. I mean, I get if you're out of breath, you kind of need subbed out, but it does kind of look bad, you know, considering you're in the NFL making millions and millions of dollars for your body to be in the right shape to play the sport. It is your job to play the sport, so it looks bad. But, I mean, I understand it from a health point of view. Maybe he thought something more serious was happening to his body, or maybe he was just tired and needed a break. I guess we'll never really know. But anyway, he did sub himself out, and that's what mainly got him famous. And then I think he was benched the next week after that. But let's go ahead and read off these stats for Anthony Richardson. So he had 8 passing touchdowns, 1,814 passing yards with 12 interceptions. Yeah, he had 8 passing touchdowns with 12 interceptions. His passer rating was only a 47.7. That is god-awful. He did have 6 rushing touchdowns, though. He is a little bit mobile, so he's definitely got that for him. That helps him out a little bit. And number 3, we got Rashad White. Now, this guy wasn't extremely bad. He just got overshadowed by Bucky Irving. And if you guys had no clue who Bucky Irving was before the season started, I actually knew Bucky Irving was going to be good. And I know you're thinking, oh, it's easy to say that now after he already performed well. But no, I actually drafted this guy in a few fantasy leagues because I drafted Rashad White in one, and then I drafted Bucky Irving to be his handcuff, you know, in case Rashad White goes down or anything like that. But yeah, I took Bucky Irving. I was on the Bucky Irving alert since he was drafted. But yeah, Bucky Irving did pretty well, and he definitely overshadowed Rashad White. Rashad White was expected to take a big step this year, but he only produced 613 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and then along with 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 fumbles as well. So yeah, not a great year at all for Rashad White. It's not like horrible, but I mean, like, he was projected to take a big step. Like, I don't know. And the Buccaneers offense was pretty explosive too, with Bucky Irving in the on the field. So at number 2, we have Kirk Cousins. This guy is getting paid 180 million, 180 million in 4 years, 180 million over 4 years to have 18 passing touchdowns with 16 interceptions to go along with it. I will say he did have a solid amount of passing yards though, 3,508, but that touchdown to interception ratio was atrocious. Kirk Cousins, and he got benched the last 2 games from Michael Penix. I don't know what the Falcons GM is really thinking there. I mean, maybe it will work out with Michael Penix learning from Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback normally. He had a really bad season this season though, but normally he was pretty solid with the Vikings, around the top 10 range, if not in the top 10 a few seasons. But so I don't really know what the Falcons are going to do in that spot. Maybe it will work out, but that is a pretty expensive mentor to have. But it might work out for the Falcons' favors. But if you look at Kirk Cousins in general, very disappointing year. The Falcons were expecting a lot better. Drake London did do pretty well, but I mean, still, Kirk Cousins, I don't know, he just didn't do well. And number 1, I think it's no surprise here, we got Deshaun Watson. This guy is the biggest disappointment ever, and I feel bad for Browns fans. I really am starting to. So the 3-time Pro Bowler actually has turned into a horrible NFL starter. I get he didn't play much because he's been hurt. He's either been hurt or he's been on the field. And when he's on the field and he's not hurt, it looks like he's hurt because he's god awful. Like, if you understand where I'm coming from, like, that's how bad Deshaun Watson has been for the Cleveland Browns. So he had 5 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,148 passing yards, and 5 fumbles just this season. Again, Deshaun Watson, that whole situation is absolutely atrocious for the Cleveland Browns. No one really saw it coming, after he took that year off because, legal trouble, a lot of legal trouble actually, with Deshaun Watson. But no one expected this big of a fall off, but I guess it really happens. I guess if you take a year off, you just take a year off, you can't produce. Anyway, that's around the end of the video. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.